All right. Clap it up for yourself. This is our last panel. I know you're sad. I know you don't want to go home, but this is our last panel, build and scale. So if everyone could come up and fill these seats. But thank you for staying with us all day. Who's been here since 10? Raise your hand. Jesus, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. All right, let me ask a question. Who want to answer a question? You want to answer a question? All right. It was two kinds of trust. Oh, wait, hold on.
A revocable trust and an irrevocable trust.
Congratulations. I'm going to send you on dinner, too. I constantly take care of the left side, huh? Because nobody else is. The left guys don't do that, I'll tell you that much. All right, y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Let's get started.
All right, guys. Before I introduce this panel, I want to ask y'all a question. Please stand up. Who owns a home? I said stand up. Who owns a home? Awesome. Who owns multiple homes? All right. Oh, there you go. Clap your hands for everybody, please. Clap your hands. All right, so this is why we're here, right? We're going to talk about building and scaling. I said multiple. Okay, who owns 3 or more homes? Oh, all right. There you go. Land counts. Land counts. Let's talk about properties here, guys. Bruh. All right. So, guys, I've got an amazing panel up here. So let me introduce you to them, please. So I've got Gail, who owns a group home. Okay. It's considered an independent living home, right? She's also an independent living coach. She's an investor. She's a mother of 6. Right? I'm not even done yet. She's a mother of 6. 2 that are hers, but she also adopts 4, right? Coming in September, right? I mean, the list goes on. List goes on. All right. She also is the founder of I Am Gael Care. Can we give her a clap for her, please? Awesome. Now, next to her is Erica Davis. Sorry. So next to her is Katia. Now, if you know Katia, she is an investor. She's a developer. She has won consecutive Agents of the Year for Thumbprint Realty. I mean, I'm not saying just 1 or 2, like 3. Like, are we on 4? All right, 5. Okay. She's also a hard money lender. And we didn't get to this part, but she probably got like 7 or 8 properties. Maybe, yeah, let's double digits. Can we give her a clap, please, guys? Now next, Erica Davis. All right. Davis Estates, like luxury units, right, in Boston. Like buying and flipping. She's got her own nonprofit, right? She's not only making profit, but she's also giving back to the community. She also has this company called Viola, right, which is for elderly who are aging in place, right? Such a amazing work. Super proud of that. And she's also likes to not only develop property, but also develop young people. There's not many that do that. Like, hear me out. Develop young people, right? Like, there's a lot of us who were young and just didn't have that guidance. Erica's providing that. Can we give her a round of applause, please? And she's single. That's what I heard. And then last but not least, Alex E. Edwards. I mean, do I need to introduce this guy? I will say on a personal note, he is my cousin. He's my brother, like my ride or die. So I truly appreciate and love this guy. So, but I appreciate you, man. Like, amazing guy. All right, let's get down into it. So we're talking build and scale, right? So we're talking about multiple properties, okay? So Gael, Erica, let's start with you. So your backgrounds are somewhat different, right? I know, Gael, you've got a background in law, right? You've got banking, credit. Sometimes, you might be approaching this in a different lens, right? Erica, you're more community-centered, right? Development in the city of Boston. So when the two of you are searching for properties and trying to execute your first deal, you're approaching the market a little bit differently. Walk us through that process. Like, what does it take when you're looking for properties? Give us some tips and tricks on what that could look like.
Hello, everybody. So when I first got into real estate, I was really hungry. Everywhere I was going, I was telling people, like, I was actually faking it. Like, I'm a real estate investor, I own properties. I was giving them a spill. And I actually met someone at Home Depot, and he brought me my first deal. He was an electrician, and we was just chatting. And I was telling him that I'm an investor, I'm looking for properties. And he was like, okay, if I come across something, I'll let you know. And lo and behold, he called me like 2 weeks later, and he was like, where you at? And I was like, I'm around. And he was like, I need you to come see this property. And I was like, okay. So I had to pretend like I was knowing what I was doing. So I showed up. And at that time, I didn't come with the proper clothing. And it's not till I got later on in the game, I knew, come with some Timbs, come looking like you're a real estate investor. So I pulled up to the property, and he was like, are you ready to walk through here? And I was like, yeah. So he was like, we can only get on one floor, but the thing is, you got to close this deal in like 2 weeks. And I was like, 2 weeks? And then he calls me the next day and he says 2 days. So it went from 2 weeks to 2 days. So what I did was I called someone who knew what they knew a little bit more about real estate than me. I called Alex and I told him the situation. And when I gave him some insight, every day it's like we got more information. We found out that the tenant who was living there, she owned the house, it was being foreclosed, she's not leaving. And she was a tenant that was extremely hard to deal with. Like, when we purchased the house, she still owned the house. Like, she was telling us at some point what to do. And it's just because she had that mind state. So we ended up closing the deal in 2 days. But how I did it was going out to the community, talking to people. And sometimes you just gotta learn something, learn a language and just give it a go. Start talking to people, telling them what you do. So we ended up closing on that deal. But what happened was he had money tied up in the deal, and he knew that he had to work with someone who didn't mind giving him what he had in the deal to get his money back, because he wasn't able to close on it. We ended up closing, and to this day, we still own this multifamily in Mattapan that at the time we purchased it for $500,000, and right now it has to be worth like 1.2.
Clap it up. Wow. Wow. Talk about.
Just want to add to that.
Yeah.
And that property has about almost 100 grand in the bank account. Just want to throw that
Oh,
out.
let's not forget
Yes.
that. I agree, 100%. That took a lot of courage. It started with just networking, and all of a sudden, you're in a deal. So, congratulations, Erica.
Just one thing she said though, she became the person she wanted to be in present time though. That's I think that's the power of, I'm not gonna wait to become something. I'm gonna tell the world who I am, and then she became it. So I think that part is very important.
Yeah. Great
She
point.
didn't say, "Hey, one day I'm going." She said, "Today I am that, and you're gonna have to deal with me."
Yeah.
And God gave her a gift, and never stopped ever since. Because she didn't say, "Oh, I'm no longer." The gift just kept coming, right?
Yep. Yep. No, great point. Great point. You got to speak it out. All right. Anything you want to add, Gael?
With my first deal, it was different from how she got hers. My first deal was my little brother and my business partner, who's also a direct lender, helped secured that deal. And what I learned with doing my first deal is that you don't take the other real estate words. Let's say if they said, oh, the fridge stays or the roof was changed, make sure I had to learn that I had to do my diligence, but make sure that everything was properly done and writing, simply because my first deal was with a listing agent who was very experienced. But by the grace of God, because I had a partner who helped me through it, the transaction was safe and secured.
Wow, that's amazing. Experience is important for sure, right? So thank you for adding that. I appreciate it. Okay, so next up, I'm a process engineer, right? So I'm all about the process end to end. And what I hate the most is when we have bottlenecks, right? Something that slows down the process. So we're gonna talk about Boston, right? The process of what it takes to develop in Boston. I'm sure there's a lot there, guys. So walk us through the reality, right, of the process of developing in Boston.
Or anywhere as well.
Sure,
Okay.
anywhere, absolutely.
Oh boy, yeah. So it definitely starts with making sure that you are doing, as Gael said, your due diligence. Because when you go to speak to the town or the city of Boston, you want to ensure that you are abiding by the zoning laws that they have, the setbacks, the requirements that they need. Certain areas you can't build high up, you have to stay within that limit. So you want to be sure that you're doing your due diligence there. And when you're presenting the plans, that's where, if you have to go to the zoning board, you get into bottlenecks there, of course. With the neighbors in the area, you can get into bottlenecks. If you are working with a general contractor who is delaying your project, that can cost you not only time, but also money. A delayed project is something that nobody wants to go through, aside from waiting for your pre-approvals and your permits from the city of Boston. But I do mainly the South Shore area, which is a lot smoother in terms of getting the permits, but I do understand with the city of Boston could be a bit
Yeah.
lengthy.
Yeah, that's amazing. I couldn't agree more, right? And that's part of when you're trying to find a deal, right? The location matters, right? It's not just, what's going to help the seller or the buyer, sorry, but how's the process going to be for you, right, as a developer? So thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it.
I would say, we'll make this interesting. Hold on. Got me a Home Depot card. All right, so who's the most important person on your development team?
I would say your GC. No, your I got your architect.
Amen.
All right. All right.
Your architect is the most important person on your team. The good thing about development is this: everyone here could develop. Everyone here could develop. We just didn't learn how to develop, right? Just like everyone here could buy a home, and if you don't own a home, you don't know where the money is at. But until you buy a home, you say, "Oh, that's simple. I know where the money's at." That's the same with development, right? Believe it or not, you make way more money developing than just buying a home, because technically you're buying someone else's investment, right? Because you have to buy, they have to sell enough so they can get some money back, right? So if you find land, right, and which in the city of Boston has some land left, right, and they selling it in two ways. The first way, they selling it for like almost nothing, but you have to build affordable, right? So a deed restriction is coming. That might not be wrong, right? That you could get your feet wet and the city of Boston is going to help you build this home. It's almost like an employee, but you're learning. So, and you get a developer fee. So that the development fee could be $200,000. And the city gave you the land for nothing. It might not be a bad deal, right? You learn something, and now you could go on your own on your next one, right? Or say, for instance, your parents have some land, or you have some land next to you. If you own the land and you get permits for the land, every bank will give you money for the land. It's like, hey, what you want to build? Oh, I want to build a 4-family. All right, great. We're going to give you money for it. We're going to give you 100% construction. 100%. So now that 4-family, just say it costs $900,000 to build a 4-family, right? Or $1 million. You're going to probably sell that 4-family for 1.4, 1.5. So you made 500,000 just like that, right? Just use your imagination, understanding what the architect told you. And always remember this, when you're thinking about development, if you think about scaling, renovation, and building, you always want to break the law, right? Say it with me. I'm always going to break the law.
I always want to break the law.
And what that means is you're gonna get a variance, right? So if it's 5,000 square feet and it says you can only build a 3-family, you're gonna go to the city and say, no, I want building 8-family. Tell me no. Well, the city's not gonna tell you no, because what do they need in the city? Say it again. So if you know they need housing, why would you build a 3-family and not an 8-family? Why would they say, no, I need this? So why would you settle when you could break the law and say, you know what, I want a variance, and you're gonna okay me breaking the law and you're gonna break my variance? The last thing I wanna add is the city is now taking away their zoning requirements. Did y'all hear that? So now to build certain homes, you no longer have to go to zoning. You just go down and get a permit,
No, I need y'all to clap more for that. 'cause
right?
That process is long.
So I am acting like a manual, and dropping my gems and act like I'm only here. So I'm going to shut up right now.
No, we
I'm
got a
sorry.
few gems.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got a few gems. Appreciate that, Alex. Great question.
I was about to throw shade, but I'm not. They are trying it with different towns right now. Towns ain't Dorchester or Mattapan or Roxbury right now. West Roxbury, I think West Roxbury, JP. Yeah. Rosendale. So they're trying it with different towns right now, and then it trickles down. But when it trickles down, don't sit on your butt. Don't sit on your butt. And I don't want to hear anyone talking about Boston's too expensive or you can't buy nothing in Boston when we gave you all the gems.
Yeah, Boston has everything, especially if you're elderly. So please, guys, take action. All right, next up. Now, one of the things that tends to prevent us from taking action, right, is money, right? We're talking about capital, right? And these wonderful women up here and this gentleman here, they've capitalized on funding. So can you walk us through what it takes to get funding to build scale?
Yeah, definitely. So for me, as a investor and developer, I go through hard money lending, which is private money where you are putting down more. The interest rate is a bit higher, but at the end, as long as you are running your numbers properly and the deal makes sense, you go for it. So for example, when I first started, I had to put 20% down. I had a 12% interest rate. It was a 1-year term. I paid 3 points. And at the end of the project, it was about a 6-month project. You pay back the loan and you keep the profit. So one of the things that a lot of my other investors tend to do, they partner up. And again, you have to make sure that you're partnering with the right person, someone that you trust, to be able to come in 50-50 on certain deals if they don't have the full capital, because not too many people have the 20% down to put on the property, on the project. So that is how we build and scale to do multiple projects and to be able to build wealth that way.
Yeah, thank you, Katia. The biggest thing I got from that was, don't be afraid to get a partner, right? Don't do it on your own. We've got plenty of people in this room, right? Find someone, make a connection. Partnership could start here, and a legacy could also start here as well.
As long as his name is that Mandro.
That. Anyone else want to add anything to that? Alex? Oh, Erica?
So you can use OPM, other people's money. On a deal I just did, I did have a partner, and he raised from his friends 150,000. So we used their funds, which we didn't have to use hard money, which we didn't have to pay points. We didn't have to do all of, so when you go to the closing table, there's all these fees from the lender, right? There's transactional fees, there's all these other fees that you don't know about until you get to the closing table. So it saved us from not having to pay those fees, pay the points, and we just, sold the house, pay them back, right? But on a lot of my other deals, I just used business line of credit, where I was able to leverage business line of credit where you can build credit for your company, and you can basically get 250,000 funding that you don't have to pay back. Mine funding, I don't have to pay back for like a year and a half, right? So I get 0% interest, and I have to pay them back once that year and a half. So I refinance once the deal's done. If I'm holding it, I refinance, I pay them back. Or if I'm selling it, I refinance and I pay the credit card company back.
Got you. Yeah, amazing. Give her, yeah, please, round of applause. So who in this room needs funding right now? Please raise your hand. All right, so now look around the room. Potential partners, all right? Awesome.
One thing I want to ask Gael, because group homes, you have to break that whole system down, because and I'm going to just be quick about this, like, also with Erica, she introduced me to fire victims. So if you have an empty unit, you could rent that to to a fire victim, and the insurance pay you max for about a year and a half. You're getting money directly from the insurance company. And then Katir, you've been flipping fire homes. Was your first one, a home that burned down, right? The second one, right? Put it right back on the market, made some money. And now Gael, group homes. Can you just break down the group home business?
Thank you, Alex. My focus and creating homes is to provide like a safe place for those who needs affordable housing, but also providing support so that they can regain stability and go back into the housing environment. I work closely with homeowners and investors to transform properties with independent structure as well as independence to support like a safe environment. What makes our model successful is that what makes our model successful is not only that we provide like a safe place for homeless individuals or for someone coming from treatment centers or the reentry program, is that we build partnership with these hospitals, with the shelters, with the reentry program, as well as community or organizations to make sure that those who needs the resources to succeed and not only to succeed and move on to their permanent housing, but so that they don't go back to jail or they don't go back to shelters. In terms of the homeowners, we help them with following the zoning rules that their town has set. We help them with setting up their structured package where we help them making sure they have the policy and procedures of how the home is gonna run, the onboarding documents, because when you're dealing with HUD-VASH, we can't do semi-private in terms of HUD-VASH. So we have to make sure all those structures are in place, the incident reports, the evacuation plans. We work closely with them to help that happen.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Again, what I've heard was collaboration, partnership. Again, you can't do this alone. Use your resources, make connections, and make it happen. Thank you. Round of applause for it.
So you got 250,000 business line of credit, 0 interest rate.
0 interest rate.
Jesus, that's only. I didn't hear nothing else after that. That's holy sh. You feel me? Congratulations
money.
to you, right?
Zero
Right.
interest rate. Yeah, it's a lot.
And Katia, you and your husband just finished a flip, right, and made some money. I'm not gonna get in your business. Don't let anyone know your business if you don't want me to.
It was 6 figures.
Okay,
Yes.
6 figures.
All of our projects have been 6 figures.
So profit.
Yes.
And Gael, how many assistant living homes you have now?
For our own personal, we just opened our 6th one, but I just opened my first family independent living. So that home, we will work closely with DV shelters to provide domestic violent victim and their children a safe place, and we can house up to 2 kids.
Wow.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. Clap it up again.
Yeah. Nice.
Wait, stay here. That's our last panel. And we have one question. One. Only one. We have one question. Wait, for all the for all the panels.
Great question.
How do you build your team? If I'm well, fine. I think you can build your team today. I think
Yeah,
that's
I know.
you could just eeny, meeny, miny, mo today. And I think mentors is more personal than like I think advisor and mentor is 2 different things, right? Advisor is not a lot of personal there. It's like, can you advise me? I could pay you, or you have a part of the deal, but I need you to advise me. But mentor, I think y'all should like each other. Because it's more like, I believe in you. You call me when you fall, I'm going to get you back up, right? They are more emotionally invested, where advisor is all right, you know what? You might be paying me, or I'm on the board, so your success is my success, right? So that just make sure you know which one you want is very important. Which one you need is very important. And then again, make sure that mentor or advisor have something that you have that you want. If that makes sense, right? So, hey, I want 4 families, or I want assisted living, or I want to flip, or I want 200. Those are steps. Those are steps. Those are. All right. So, with that being said, I think that's how you pick your mentor, and we are going to email everybody. Everyone's names, and everything we went over today. So if you bought a ticket and we have your email address, you're gonna get an email next week. Sounds good? All right. We about to get kicked out. Wait, I got you. All thumbprint agents, can you come to the front, and all speakers come to the front? You can stay right here. Please, real quick.
It was for a question. Process of buying land specifically in the city of Boston, like what websites do you go to, or like how do you find the property, how do you qualify for it, whether it be for like a personal interest or if it's like
All right. So she asked how to purchase land in the city of Boston. If you want to buy land, I would call the city of Boston ASAP. ASAP. They will be excited. Mayor, I forgot what the name. Mayor House of Housing. Was it Mayor Office of Housing? MOH. Mayor Office of Housing. Y'all got to get close. We're gonna take a picture. Yeah, come on, guys. Act like y'all like each other. Some people get to the back. Some people sit on a chair. Pull the chair forward. Some people sit down. Let's take this photo real quick. And again, that was the last panel, and I appreciate everyone coming out. I hope y'all learned something today. I hope y'all grow from today. And we are doing this again in May. In October, we have Mortgage Before Marriage seminar for couples and singles that want to get married and build an empire with your significant other. Also, we have Mortgage Before Marriage books, shirts in the back. Make sure you spend a lot of money with me. I truly appreciate it. And let's get in this picture. The photographer's ready? I think you're blocking the photographer. Okay, hold on. Let the photographer, and he's coming through. Right here. You ready? All right. Thank you. See you in May, and those that's married and want to be married, see you in October. Mortgage before marriage, finance before fiance, Rockefeller before. Thank you for coming to Real Estate Unlocked, hosted by Thumbprint Realty. If you have someone that you want to speak to, make sure you catch them right now. All Thumbprint Realty partners, please help fold some chairs.
Boom shakalaka boom. We out.
And if you are VIP and didn't get your mail, please let us know right now. If you are VIP and you didn't get your free meal, please let us know right now. Thank you.
Baby est toujours empilé. En boîte je ne fais plus la mala, mais rajoute du champagne au ruinard. Bébé, bébé, où t'es, bébé, où t'es? Ce soir je suis pas là pour binard.